Good night.
This is BBC One. Now, North News with Steve Sutton.
Good evening. British Coal is facing pressure to investigate the collapse of a section of pit roof at Ellington Colliery in Northumberland. The roof was supported by controversial roof bolts, which were used at Bilsthorpe Colliery in Nottinghamshire, where 3 miners died. Anna Botting reports.
The rockfall occurred 7 miles out under the North Sea, in an area which had already been cordoned off for safety reasons. The NUM says men working nearby were put at risk. The union and a North MP want a full investigation.
A lot of people argue that the roof bolt system is a safe system, can be made to work safely. But when we've had 2 incidents involving it, until we've got full details on both those incidents and a wider inquiry, I don't think anyone's going to feel too keen and too confident about it.
British Coal says roof bolts are perfectly safe. It's planning to extend their use throughout the coalfield.
Trading standards officers in North Yorkshire have issued a warning after 10 people were burnt while using a powerful oven cleaner. 3 million cans of Mr Muscle are sold every year. Mrs Anne Coburn, a nurse from Harrogate, suffered forearm burns and needed treatment at the Wakefield Burns Unit. Mrs Jane Lancaster, also from Harrogate, has just been released from hospital following a skin graft over the wound in her forearm. The manufacturers say 20 million cans have been sold, and last year there were just 9 complaints. They're changing the packaging to highlight potential dangers. Well, tonight's cricket news now, and it's been the first day of Durham's derby match against Yorkshire in the county championships at Headingley. Well, Yorkshire have been batting and were 326 for 4 at the close of play. And that's our news so far this evening. The next is on radio's Night Network at 10, but from all of us here, a very good night.
Good evening. Littlehampton on the south coast of England reached 20 degrees today. That was the exception rather than the rule. Many places, particularly on the northeast coast of England, didn't even get into the middle teens. For example, Hull and Newcastle, 12 and 13 respectively. Well, they should improve to some degree tomorrow. We're in a ridge of high pressure, only obvious from this satellite picture because it's keeping this frontal system out to the west. And in a ridge, usually you'll find the winds are light. They'll become lighter tomorrow. Indeed, that's the only thing that's going to affect us over the next 3 or 4 days as far as rain is concerned, and it doesn't even get to the British Isles even during Saturday. The winds, as I mentioned, really only a light breeze off the North Sea, will die down tonight almost everywhere, and then tomorrow they'll pick up, but more especially over East Anglia and down through the Channel, and that's of course the course of any showers that might develop in the North Sea. But at this northeast coast there was virtually no wind at all. It's got to be good news for both Hull, Scarborough, Bridlington and Leeds. At the moment, the cloud that came in later afternoon is starting to die back. That means a chilly night for many places. 4 degrees is possible in the Midlands, but more typically 7 to 9, so much the same as last night. And we start, I think, fairly dull from maybe Yorkshire down towards Suffolk and inland towards the Midlands to some degree, but that cloud will soon burn back, give a bright or even a sunny day for most of England, Wales, Northern Ireland and even most of Scotland. Though to the north of the Great Glen, that cloud's going to touch the ground and bring some drizzle in throughout the day. The few showers there might be across Kent and East Sussex will probably disappear during the afternoon. You might see a few remaining in the Channel Isles, and it could well feel a little warmer, mainly as a consequence of less wind and rather more in the way of the sun. But it's still only average, 17, 18, 19 degrees. We'll see the odd 20 here and there, maybe in Scotland and on the south coast of England. Now for Saturday, that rain starts to show itself in Scotland, Northern Ireland, later on in the day into the north of Wales. It should be fine throughout most of England and Wales, though, and turning fine later on as well. By Sunday, though, the rain is really starting to push its way down. It'll be a light band, not reaching the southeast of the country until very much later in the day, then fine on Monday.
Pandora's Box opens again on BBC2 shortly to chronicle Kwame Nkrumah's dream of building an industrial utopia in West Africa in the 50s.
Fighting fires is what I do, and it's what I love, and you know that.
A daredevil firefighter.
I go to bed sick. I get up scared.
Who took too many chances.
Unless you lighten up, you're not going to be able to pull out of that dive.
Returns to watch over the woman he loved.
You never thought you'd dance again, did you?
Always in their minds.
I loved him like I never loved a guy.
And always by her side, Richard Dreyfuss and Holly Hunter.
To us.
Always.
Steven Spielberg's Always, Sunday at 8:20 on BBC1.
And now on BBC1, outward success, wealth and power conceal a web of deceit and dark family secrets in a two-part drama for tonight and tomorrow night. Hector Elizondo, Victoria Principal and Stephanie Powers are among the